Brenner Mills, Minnesota Vikings. Just want to win one before I die.
Dalton Zongrecker, Dallas Cowboys. Just trying to earn a little respect.
Lane Cooter, the conductor of the Baker train.
What is up, everybody? Welcome into another episode here at Wide Eye Sports. Today, we get the NFL schedule for the 2025 season, and I am hyped. We know a few things about it before it releases tonight, but we don't know everything. But we, as a group here, the three of us, are going to walk you through everything we know before the schedule releases tonight. It drops at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on NFL Network. I assume they'll probably have a reveal show. So make sure to tune into that. Without further ado, let's get into everything we know about the schedule release. So first things first, we know that y'all's Dallas Cowboys, for those of you who don't know, both Spoon and Dalton are Cowboys fans, y'all's Dallas Cowboys will be opening Thursday Night Football against the reigning, the defending world champion Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia. How do you two feel about that?
I know we're indifferent.
Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
I'm excited. I'm very excited. Last year was a big nothing season for the Cowboys, just a placeholder. Mike Zimmer came in and did nothing, and
bombed.
Nobody even really talked about him the whole season.
Sucked.
And I am really excited with a lot of the offseason moves that we did. I feel like had Jerry Jones said this offseason instead of last year that they were all in, people would have believed it a little bit more. Bringing in somebody like Eberflus, and nobody is super high on the head coaching hire of Brian Schottenheimer, but I like the in-house pick. I think keeping people together in-house is what makes a really great team, because communication is key, and probably one of the most important aspects of being a team is communicating well through all levels. And so I am very hyped about what they're going to do. And I think if the Cowboys came in on day one, season opener, and beat the Super Bowl defending champs, that would just be a real nice start to the season. Honestly, regardless of how it ends.
Spoon?
As a Cowboys fan, I don't like it. My reason why, first of all, what do you say about week one in the NFL?
It's a weird shit happens. Doesn't really mean a whole lot if you win. Doesn't really mean a whole lot if you lose.
Yep. And whenever it comes to Cowboys Eagles, I want both of us to have. I mean, obviously the Cowboys have some new players. I mean, the Eagles have some new players too that they're going to be keying in.
They also have a lot of key losses over there in Philly.
Yeah, they do. And we don't know how these teams are going to be, and we're obviously not going to see the potential of these teams the first week. It's going to take a few weeks for them to kind of start meshing, find themselves, and then that's kind of where the team – I would say by like week 4 or 5, by then you already kind of know what each team is going to be.
Yeah.
And I that's why I don't like this, because it's being a division game. Like, I want to play the Eagles midseason, end of season. That's how I want to play my division.
But if I'm you, I look at it from the angle of like, ooh, we could steal one before the Eagles catch their groove.
Absolutely could steal.
And I like that feeling. Ooh, we could steal.
But always in the back of my head, even if we win this game, it's going to be like, okay, maybe it was just a weird week. We kind of
you know what the most important part?
We get our asses kicked, and I'm gonna be so pissed off.
You know what the most part about it though is? A win's a win. It
still
counts. It counts. And division wins are even more important. So
one thing that I am looking at though, that I'm kind of like, okay, like, see the bright side of things. Both teams should be fully healthy.
Yeah.
So this should be. So I am looking at that side of it. The fact that, like, obviously, once you get like 8, 9, 10 games into the season, you're probably going to have a few injuries, and it could be a completely different team by then. So at least week one, it will be both teams should be 100% fully healthy, going head to head against each other. So I mean, I can't hate on that.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that completely. I have no issues with that, and I really look forward to both of these teams. The Cowboys obviously taking a big step forward and getting better, and the Eagles maintaining their championship level aspirations. So I like it. I like everything about it. Let's move on to the international slate of games that we know is going to happen. We know for a fact some of these games, not all, or I don't know if it's all of them. I presume it's at least pretty close to all of them. But I don't, they haven't said if it's all of them, but I would presume that they're not going to save international games for the schedule release if they release most of them. So we have week 1. We will get the Kansas City Chiefs traveling to Sao Paulo, Brazil to play against the Chargers in a home game for the Chargers.
Divisional.
So they're leaving the Brazil game week 1. I like it. Totally good with that. Totally cool. Week 4, my Minnesota Vikings will travel all the way to Dublin, Ireland for the first ever Ireland game.
It's gonna be dope.
Now, whenever we're coming up with locations for games, Dublin sounds like a fucking perfect location for a football game. Those Irish love to drink. You're going to get a lot of just crazies out there cheering on the Vikings and Steelers. I love it. I feel like that is a perfect football atmosphere.
Whatever venue hosts that game is going to make a lot of money.
Croke Park is what it says on the website. Do you think JJ McCarthy and Kevin O'Connell will be fan favorites in Ireland?
Probably. Sounds like it.
Yeah, sounds like they'll be pretty good fan favorites. So
that'll be fun.
That's week 4. And then for the first time ever, an NFL team will play back-to-back games overseas in different countries.
Yeah, Jags did it last year, twice in London.
Well, yeah, twice in London. Actually, the Jags have done it the past 2 years where they stayed in London, played in London back-to-back weeks. And I said it then, and I'll say it now. Put the house on the second week. Whatever team, doesn't matter if it's the Browns, the Giants, the Patriots, the Chiefs, the Bills, doesn't matter who it is. If a team is playing back-to-back weeks overseas and they are playing 2 different opponents, put the house on the second week, because the team that is staying over there for that whole week has such an advantage. It is.
Did the Jags win their second week game last year?
Both times. Yeah, both times they won their second week.
I followed Ritter on it. I put money on it, and I won.
The first year they beat the Bills.
Yeah.
They beat Josh Allen and the Bills in London. I'm telling you. Vikings, Browns, week 5. Put the
Vikings
house
should be
on
heavy
Minnesota.
favorites already in this game.
Yeah,
yes, they should already be favorites, and then you get the added fact of they're going to be over there for a week already. Yeah, they have to go from Dublin to London. Ooh,
it's an hour 20.
An hour flight. Ooh. So that's a huge thing. Week 6, the Denver Broncos play against the New York Jets in London, England. At I presume London. It is
London.
It is London. Yeah. So it's.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. So in London, so that'll be another good game. I think the Broncos will probably be pretty heavy favorites in that game, depending on how the Jets season works out and depending on how Justin Fields is playing. Which, if it's anything like he does every year, Jets will be kind of struggling. Week 7, we have the LA Rams playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, which will be a full-blown home game for the Jaguars. The 2 most popular teams in NFL Europe, like amongst the fan bases, are the Jags and the Vikings. Those are the 2 most popular teams, and the Jags play there every year. The Jags are going to have a huge fan base there. It's going to be a full-blown home game for them. So who knows as far as that goes? But the Rams will definitely be the better team at that point in time, barring any injuries. And then we got a 3-week break for international games. We jump to week 10. And in Berlin, the Atlanta Falcons will take on the Indianapolis Colts in another game where this is the first game where the Jags is the first game where the home team will probably be favored. The Falcons should win this game too. Like, in all honesty.
Nothing game.
Yep.
It's like a game I'm very not excited to watch.
It'll mean a lot for both divisions. Like, these are 2 teams that'll be like super underrated in their divisions and be fighting for that, like, a division spot. Yep. So two weaker divisions. I know you don't like that with Tampa Bay and the division spoon, but the division overall is weaker than most. Not saying the Bucs suck. I'm just saying like the Falcons are going to need every win they can.
Well, no. Whenever you have the Panthers and the Saints being the team that we think are going to be the worst team in the NFL this year.
Exactly. And then the final international game, you're going to get the Washington Commanders playing the first ever game in Madrid, first ever Spain game against the Miami Dolphins. Both teams are going to be traveling about the same amount of distance, a little bit farther for Miami, obviously. Couple more hours on the plane. Washington probably favored in this one. So every home team is the team, like they made the home team the team that's supposed to lose. So we could see a lot of, like, I would say the Chiefs are going to be favored over the Chargers. The Vikings will probably be favored over the Steelers. The Vikings will be favored over the Browns for sure. Denver over the Jets. LA will probably be favored in Vegas over the Jags. Atlanta over the Colts, and Washington over the Dolphins, with the closest of those games being Minnesota-Pittsburgh. And that's if Pittsburgh has a quarterback by then. If they don't, then it won't be close.
Some good slate games.
Yeah, good games. The next game we know about is the December 25th night game, the Christmas game.
That
will be Dalton brought this up earlier, didn't you, Dalton, on a different video? Yeah. Dalton was looking forward to this game. Christmas showdown in Kansas City. Denver at KC, divisional game. An amazing defense on both sides of the football. Denver probably takes a slight edge there, and then let's see what Mahomes can do. Let's see what he can do. Is Travis Kelce's getting up there in age, not exactly a prime pup anymore.
Probably his last year.
He's got a couple years left if he really wants to milk it, but who knows?
He was talking about retiring. There was a lot of talking about retirement for him last year.
I don't know. I'm just saying if he wants to milk it, he could definitely go a few more years. And then Denver revamped offense. They get some new running backs in there. They get Evan Ingram in there, Cortland Sutton, Sean Payton. Let's see what he can do. Marvin Mims, as Spoon had alluded to in a separate video.
Yeah.
We switch over and we will get Week 10 Monday Night Football will be Eagles at Green Bay Packers. The Eagles will play at Green Bay on November 10th, which I believe is the Black Friday game, correct? No, that's too early for the Black Friday game.
Yeah, it would have been like, it'd be like 27th or something.
Yeah,
that's November 10th. I don't know.
I don't know why that dropped so early.
I mean, they dropped a few. There's a couple more, which I'm sure that you have on yours as well.
Yeah. The Bills will play at the Bengals Week 9. We know that. Week
I don't even
6.
see that one on my end.
I got that one. In Week 16, the Eagles and Commanders will play, as well as the Bears and the Packers. Oh, and then the Bears and Eagles will be the Black Friday game this year.
Yeah.
Lots of Super Bowl champion Eagles primetime love.
Yeah,
I really
have
the most primetime games this coming season.
I really like the Saturday games they gave us on week 16, the 20th.
Yeah,
Saturday before Christmas. They're giving
Eagles
us
at Commanders, Bears at Packers,
Packers at Bears. That's going to be.
I'm sorry, Bears will host.
It's going to be two pretty good games to watch.
Those will be really good games.
That's all of them, right? That we know of.
Yeah, that's all the games we know so far. We don't know anything more than that currently. Once again, the schedule drop is May 14th at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. That's 7 o'clock Central Time. Make sure to tune in. I'm sure it's going to be on ESPN, NFL Network, all the major sports media news outlets.
I do know the Cowboys play the Chiefs and the Raiders this year.
I do have a question before we head out too. So,
what's the question?
I feel like this is a question that a lot of people ask every single year. So I'm just going to go ahead and ask it this year too. How close do we think we are to having a team in the NFL that is outside of the United States? Because looking at it right now, we got 7 games that are being played outside of the United States, which is insane. I remember when it first started and it was just one London game.
It was London.
And then they made it 2 London games. And then they added I remember they added Mexico City to it one year. And then
they're trying to add Australia, man. They're trying to get Australia in on this too.
And now we have, we have 4 different countries getting NFL games. We got Brazil, Spain,
United
Germany,
Kingdom.
Ireland, and London. Yeah, never mind. We got 5 different countries getting NFL games this year. So I just want to ask you guys, how close do we think we are? Like, are we a couple of years away? Maybe are we 5 years away?
I'd say 5 to 10, honestly, but and it might be much sooner than that.
So
I'm surprised that we don't have an international team.
I mean, I'm surprised we don't have like a Toronto team already or a Mexico City team already. Like, I think those are like the 2 first ones to come.
Mexico City, I can't imagine that there are too many like American football fans there. Toronto, maybe, but rugby is big. Rugby's big in a lot of these other international places. So I think that's probably why we haven't seen so many, because people that want to play football, it's like, well, there's just rugby already. So it's like, I'll just play rugby.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at Mexico City, and my argument with Mexico City is the fact that that's one of the most populated cities in the world.
Yeah.
Like, they have a huge population. I promise you it would not be that hard to fill a stadium with fans that would pay to go watch American football,
Can I bring something up?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, obviously, I think the NFL wants a team in Europe. I think they want that. The flight for the Jets to go play the Chargers is only an hour and 45 minutes shorter than it would be for the Jets to go play in London. So like we talk all the time about,
it's quicker to go from our coast to coast than it would be from going to the East Coast to London.
Yeah, but only by like an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, but
so it's not that much longer of a flight than teams are already doing. Like teams are already going, and I mean now you get
from California to New York.
Well, the thing that I'm worried about though is what if you get like the Seattle Seahawks having to fly to London, or the Chargers having to fly to London.
Well, that's what I'm looking at. So it's about a 5-hour flight, and it would be about twice as long to get from LA to London. It would be literally twice as long. It's 11 hours. So why that is a much longer flight,
that's doable though.
But you could do it where you leave on Monday, right? You leave on a Monday. You fly to Kansas City, stay the night in Kansas City. And then you get up in the morning and you fly from Kansas City to London, or you fly to New York the first day and then you fly to London the next day. It's 2 days of travel, but you get there on Wednesday and then you practice Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then you got a game on Sunday. Now, do I think it's an unfair advantage for London? Absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge advantage for them.
And that's what I mean. My issue.
At some point, they would have to fly in to play with us.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Yeah, because half the games they'll have to fly over to us, and honestly, I feel like we would just have to add a couple teams in Europe if we're going to go that route.
So that would be my suggestion. Is if we're going to do it, you make a division in Europe.
Yeah,
you have a Germany team, a London team, a Spain team, and an Ireland
team.
Maybe
like a French team. I don't know. Yeah,
but the problem is you have to have 4 franchises that are willing to move to Europe.
Yeah,
you have to have 4.
Otherwise, you're gonna, because the thing is we're very even right now with 32. You can't just add 4 teams right now because it's gonna split the division.
You could add 2, so you could get 2 teams to move, but then you're asking 2 owners to abandon the cities they're in, and
they're gonna abandon their fan base.
Yeah,
and that's tough to do.
I know you spent hundreds of thousands of dollars supporting this team, but we're going to move them to London. We're going to move them to Spain.
I think if they do anything, we're adding more. Like we would add 4 teams internationally than asking any teams to move.
Yeah.
I think the first thing that needs to be done is Toronto needs a team. Mexico City needs a team. Those are the first 2 things that need to happen.
And then London, and then
you move to London, and then you move to wherever next. You go to Spain, you go Australia, whatever.
It's almost like we might have to set up a playoff scenario where it's basically West versus East, like the NBA does. We would have to take away the divisions almost. I mean, you can have like some divisions where it's like 5 teams here, 6 teams here. But the only team, and that way you still play all those teams in those divisions. But
the NFL needs to fix their playoffs first. They need to reseed for the playoffs. The division winner should get a guaranteed playoff spot, but the playoffs should still go by record.
Yes,
They're
gonna have to do that.
There's no reason the NFL shouldn't have a record-based playoff, and people go, "Oh, well, then winning your division doesn't even matter." You get a guaranteed playoff berth by winning your division. You could be a 7-8 win team, but win your division and still make the playoffs.
Yeah, and then you kick out the team, one of the teams that make it in. Then you have like maybe one play-in game.
I don't know about all that. That's
just because people are going to say it's unfair that we have a better record than this team. Why are they getting in? Because they won their division. But
they won their division. That's why they're getting in.
They're going to get upset. I don't know, but yeah, I think if we start adding teams like that, it's going to have to come down to where we do something like the NBA does, where it's like East versus West, or even like hockey does it very weird. They have like 3 different conferences that they do, and
I like the simplicity of football. The simplicity.
Football is a very simple playoff, but if that's going to happen, they're going to have to redo it.
Yeah, because then we could get into the argument of like, well, fuck it, let's just do a wild card. Like, let's make it 5 wild card teams, and the top wild card team squeaks in as the 7 seed, and the other ones battle it out in a playoff of their own. Let's push the Super Bowl to March. Like, you know what I mean? You could get crazy with it. I like it. I like the format the way it is. It's just it needs to be changed in order of seeding, because there's no reason a 9-win team should ever host a 13-win team in the playoffs. That should never happen. I think that's egregious. But with that being said, let us know what you guys think down below. Like, subscribe. Let Dalton know what you think. Let Spoon know what you think. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, tell us how soon are we to having some teams overseas? We want to know.
Yeah, we want to know. We want to know your thoughts. We'll see y'all next time.
I do think they're trying their